Welcome to Missing Chronicles, where we delve into the heartbreaking and enigmatic mysteries surrounding disappearances. Here, we will immerse ourselves in the world of unsolved cases, thrilling search efforts, and intricate journeys. The goal of this channel is to spread awareness, foster community connections, and provide support to the families and loved ones of the missing. Join me as we embark on a suspenseful journey, hoping to uncover the truth behind these missing chronicles. Help us sustain and grow Missing Chronicles by becoming a patron on Patreon. Your contribution ensures that we can continue our investigations, share compelling stories, and work towards a world where no one is forgotten. Join us in making a lasting impact today. The mysterious cases of Rebecca Corium, Claudia Lawrence, and Relisha Tain Rudd. Every day, countless individuals go missing around the world. While some fortunate souls are eventually found safe and unharmed, others meet tragic fates or simply vanish without a trace. In a world where social media keeps us connected and surveillance cameras monitor us nearly 24/7, it is chilling to consider the possibility that you or your loved ones could disappear in an instant, leaving no explanation behind. Sometimes, all that remains are fleeting moments captured on camera, offering mere glimpses into the lives of the missing. Let's delve into a few such cases, where the final moments of individuals were captured on film. Rebecca Corium, born in Chester, England, was a promising 24-year-old with a bright future. Having completed her sports science degree and a youth studies course, she applied for a position on a Disney cruise ship in 2010. After training in the Disney theme parks of Florida, Rebecca spent 4 months on cruises to the Bahamas. She returned home to the UK for 2 months to spend time with friends and family before resuming work. Unfortunately, tragedy struck when Rebecca's grandfather passed away, causing her to fly home again for 2 weeks. This marked the last time her family saw her in person. By March 21, 2011, Rebecca had been back at work for 6 weeks, and the cruise ship Wonder sailed out of LA on its usual route. Rebecca had been on this route before and assured her parents via Facebook that she would call the next day. Little did they know it would be her final message. Rebecca's mother grew concerned when her daughter didn't respond for 12 hours. At 9 a.m., while the Wonder was off the coast of Mexico, it was discovered that Rebecca had missed the beginning of her shift as a youth worker. Crewmates searched for her but couldn't locate her anywhere aboard the ship. All her belongings, including ripped shorts and her passport, remained in her cabin. When the crew called for Rebecca over the ship's intercom, they received no response. CCTV footage revealed Rebecca speaking on an internal phone in the crew area at around 5:45 a.m. She appeared distraught and was wearing what seemed to be men's clothing. When someone approached her to inquire about her well-being, she replied, "Yeah, fine," before walking away, pushing her hair back and placing her hands in her back pockets, mannerisms her parents recognized. As the Wonder was registered in the Bahamas, a detective from the Royal Bahamas Police Force briefly investigated the case. However, only a few crew members were interviewed, and no passengers were questioned. The detective spent just a day on the ship before returning. Many theories surround Rebecca's disappearance. The ship's captain informed her parents that he believed she had been washed overboard by a wave near the crew pool. A theory supported by some crew members. Another hypothesis suggests she may have slipped from the jogging track on Deck 4, where railings were low. Both of these areas were covered by CCTV cameras, leaving some to question whether Disney and the Bahamian authorities have withheld information. The only evidence ever found was a pair of flip-flops discovered at the crew pool, bearing someone else's name and cabin number. It is worth noting that the walls around the crew pool are exceptionally high, making it unlikely for Rebecca to have accidentally fallen or slipped over them. 8 years later, Rebecca Corium's whereabouts remain unknown, and her case remains open and unsolved. Next, we turn our attention to Claudia Lawrence, described by friends and family as warm, friendly, and someone who enjoyed life. At 35 years old, Claudia had an active social life and a successful career as a chef at Goodricke College, University of York. On March 18, 2009, Claudia returned home from work and engaged in a text conversation with her mother, making plans for the upcoming Mother's Day. Her last text message was sent around 8:23 p.m. 2 days later. Claudia's father reported her missing when she failed to show up for work. A search of her house yielded no evidence of foul play. Her passport, bank cards, and personal belongings were still at home. Her bed was neatly made, with dirty dishes in the sink and her toothbrush left on the draining board. The only items missing were Claudia's mobile phone, a Samsung D900, and her gray and blue Carrymore backpack, which she often used for work and contained her chef's whites. During the initial investigation, it was discovered that Claudia had recently changed her hair color from blonde to brown. Photos of her before this change were widely circulated, potentially hindering the investigation, as people may have seen her but dismissed her due to the altered appearance. Furthermore, as authorities delved into Claudia's personal life, they uncovered alleged secrets. It was revealed that she had multiple lovers, with one of them rumored to be married. Speculation grew that Claudia associated with individuals involved in criminal activities. However, no names were ever disclosed. While several sightings of Claudia were reported to the police, the most intriguing evidence came from CCTV footage. Although Claudia was captured leaving the college on March 18, the more significant footage featured an unidentified man in dark clothing entering the alley behind Claudia's house around 7:15 p.m. He vanished from view for a minute before reappearing, possibly carrying a bag. A similar sequence occurred at 5 a.m. The man's build and height remained consistent in both instances. 5 years after Claudia's disappearance, forensic experts collected partial fingerprints and DNA from her home, including a cigarette butt found in her car. However, the DNA and fingerprints have yet to yield any identification. Over the years, several arrests have been made in Claudia's case, but all suspects were eventually released due to insufficient evidence. The Crown Prosecution Service acknowledged the lack of substantial proof. Numerous theories circulate online, ranging from Claudia being murdered by a married lover or their spouse to the possibility of her leaving voluntarily. While some baseless claims suggest Claudia's involvement with drugs, another popular theory implicates convicted murderer Chris Halliwell in her disappearance. 10 years on, Claudia Lawrence's parents continue to search for answers and justice. Although her case remains open, the investigation has been scaled back, with a smaller team currently assigned to it. Lastly, we examine the case of Relisha Tain Rudd, who was only 8 years old when she vanished from the homeless shelter where she lived with her mother, stepfather, and 3 brothers in Washington, D.C., USA, in 2014. Relisha resided in a converted homeless shelter known as the former D.C. General Hospital. The shelter provided a bleak living environment, plagued by heating outages, infestations, and unsanitary conditions. Relisha often pretended to be ill while staying with relatives. Desperate to avoid returning home, Relisha's mother, Shamika Young, had her daughter at a young age and grew up in foster care in homeless shelters herself. Despite having extended family members who took custody of Relisha and her siblings at times, the children endured a turbulent childhood, with multiple reports of abuse and neglect made to child services. However, no charges were ever filed against Shamika Young or other family members. Teachers at Relisha's school, Payne Elementary, noted her unkempt appearance, often arriving with dirty clothes, unwashed hair, and an empty stomach. They even kept spare clothes for her, and the cheerleading coach helped her clean up before class. In 2014, Relisha's life took a dark turn when her mother befriended 51-year-old Khalil Tatum, a janitor at the shelter. Tatum had a history of criminal activity, including burglary and larceny, and was known for showing particular attention to young girls. Tatum quickly became known as Relisha's godfather, and Shamika allowed her daughter to go on outings and stay with him. He showered Relisha with gifts, such as tablet PCs, and took her to events like Disney on Ice, often returning with new clothes or a manicure. However, in late February 2014, Relisha stopped attending school, and her absence went unreported. Various explanations were offered by family members, with Shamika claiming she knew Relisha was safe with Tatum or that she was with her sister and unaware of any issue. Concerns escalated when a social worker arranged a meeting with Dr. Tatum, who was supposedly caring for Relisha due to health problems. However, upon arriving at the shelter, the social worker discovered that no such doctor existed and that Tatum had left his janitorial shift early that day. The social worker immediately contacted the authorities. A search for Relisha was launched, but she had already missed a month of school. CCTV footage revealed Tatum and Relisha together. One clip captured them walking down the hallway of a Holiday Inn Express in Northeast Washington on February 26, 2014. Another footage showed them entering a room at the Days Inn on New York Avenue, dated March 1, 2014. This was the last confirmed evidence of Relisha being alive. Tragically, on March 20, Tatum's wife, Andrea, was found dead in a room at the Red Roof Inn in Oxon Hill. It was theorized that Tatum murdered her, possibly because she knew too much about Relisha or discovered something about her daughter's fate. A friend of Tatum confessed to authorities that he had searched for information on a handgun and downloaded related images on an iPad, following Tatum's request. On March 31, while police searched Kenilworth Park for Relisha, they found Tatum's body in a shed, an apparent suicide. Sadly, he left no information regarding Relisha's whereabouts. Despite extensive searches, Relisha has never been found. In January 2018, authorities combed the Anacostia River, and in January 2019, they searched underground tunnels near the shelter, but to no avail. Relisha's 3 brothers have been placed in foster care. Shamika Young, her mother, Melissa, Relisha's grandmother, and Antonia Wheeler, Relisha's stepfather, appeared on an episode of The Steve Wilkos Show. The homeless shelter has since been closed down. Numerous theories abound, with authorities believing Relisha was either murdered by Tatum or sold into trafficking. Online sleuths speculate that Shamika may have sold her daughter to Tatum for financial gain or to settle a drug debt. This speculation is partly fueled by social media photos showing Antonia Wheeler flaunting large sums of money, new sneakers, and a new mobile phone. The comparison to the murder of Shania Davis, a 5-year-old girl who was sold to Mario McNeil in 2009, is often made. Shania's mother was charged with multiple crimes. However, the truth about Relisha Rudd's fate remains unknown, and police diligently pursue every lead they receive. These are just 3 of the countless unsolved disappearances captured on camera. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next installment. Thank you for watching Missing Chronicles. We have explored captivating stories and searched for answers behind the vanished. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button to stay updated with our latest videos. Share these videos to spread the message and assist affected families and loved ones. If you have any information related to the cases we've discussed, please leave them in the comments section. Together, we can make a difference. See you in the next Missing Chronicles.